Hey, how y'all doing, man? Welcome back. It's Roosevelt Parker, the Black Rose, and y'all on my channel. I just wanted to touch base on a few things. It's probably gonna be a little bit longer of a video because I have so much to talk about. I was asked by Chris Morris, a couple other people to give my input on the Gio Merceron interview and the Brad Jackson interview, and I'll be getting into that in just a second. It's pretty extensive. I wanted to inform people that the Airtight Combat Sports Promotion show over at Red and Jerry's is this Friday. It's the last show there. It's at Oxford and Santa Fe. I'm pretty sure Steve is pretty decent about the same time all the time. So I'm sure fights start at 7. Doors probably open at 6. I know the last time I saw his post, he still had a few tickets left, so you definitely should get in and get those because they will no longer be at Red and Jerry's anymore. They'll be at their new location in Aurora. The card is pretty stacked card. It should be a pretty nice. Well, you'll see after you hear what I have to say about the interviews between the main event combatants, Brad Jackson and Gio Merceron. At the same time, a friend of mine that's taking my challenge, my fitness challenge, is making his pro debut, Alan Velasquez, and I want people to get out there and support him because sometimes I think people take for granted what we do. Um, it is exciting, but it is a scary thing when you're making your pro debut because there's so many people and it's such a different environment than when you're an amateur. And no matter how much experience you have or experience that you don't have, it's a big transition, and it takes a lot of heart and a lot of courage to go out and do that. And I'm proud of him, and he's been working hard in the gym, and he's been getting the weight off and doing his thing. And so for him to make his pro debut, that's real awesome. And so I think people should get out there and really support him and go see this show. It should be a really good show. Like I said, there's a lot of good fighters on there. And I'll touch base on that a little bit more when I get to the part of this video about the interviews. What else is going on? The fight between Kenny Lamos and Joey Montoya is all. Joey pulled out the fight. I don't know what the reason is. It was for next month. But once I get more information on that, I'll definitely let you know what's going on. Uh, don't forget my boys Marcos and Michael Herrera on their way to Arizona this weekend. They leave on Friday. They fight on Saturday night. I will be getting another video up here this week to get you guys all the information because obviously if you live in Arizona, go check that out. If you could get there, go check it out. Otherwise, it will be online, and I know for a fact that both of them will be featured on the online viewing. So I think Marcos might even be moved to the main event because the main event fell through for the card. So I will be keeping y'all posted on that. Training has been going awesome. Your boy is doing his thing. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm strong. Speed's nice. Accuracy's nice. Coach Anthony really got us, got things going in the right direction. My wind is lovely. I mean, there's just nothing else to say about that. You guys should get a chance to see it. I think we're gonna try to fight next month, and so we'll get that video up. Um, Chris Green and A1 Boxing is going to be having a show over at PT's next month. I will get you guys the exact date. I think it's like the 17th or 18th. I know that it's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's outside, which is different for Colorado. That it's a good thing because it is a different way of watching boxing. So get out there and enjoy that show. I will get more information and I will get the list of the fights on that card, and I will make sure to get that onto a video for you guys so you could get out there and check that out. Chris Green's making his comeback after a little layoff from injury and things like that. But I will get more information about that as soon as I can. Once again, don't forget about the fight this weekend, Airtight Combat Sports. Red and Jerry's, and I'll get y'all more information. Like I said, I'm pretty sure doors open at 6. Fight start at 7. Last show at Red and Jerry's. Everybody that's taking my fitness challenge, I'm proud of you guys. Keep up the good work. Touch bases with me so I know how you guys are doing. Remember, next month will fly. This month's gonna fly by. Next month's gonna fly by. End of the month, end of August, is when we're gonna be figuring out who lost the most percentage of weight, and we will be giving the winner that money. So keep up the good work and touch base with me so I know how you guys are doing. I'm real proud of you guys. What else? What else? Oh, don't forget about October. We're gonna be doing that fundraiser for a children's hospital. It'll be like a little fitness challenge at a park. Everybody's welcome to come. You do what you can, and it's just to have fun and to help with a good cause. Hopefully, we'll be going at the end of August or sometime in September to go visit Children's Hospital, try to bring a little happiness to the kids, things like that. Just do something, and hopefully doing that will help bring a little happiness to you. Um, what else is going on? Um, you know what? I think that's it. When I was asked to give to put this video together about these interviews, I thought about it. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it, but because I am trying to get the word out there about fighters from all walks of life and everything that they're doing, and because my channel is unbiased, it doesn't matter if you are a friend or somebody I don't know or whatever. I keep it 100. Everything is across the board. So I felt like I definitely had to do it because I've been hearing people take different sides, and that's not going to happen with me. Um, some of the things I heard in the interviews definitely bothered me. I mean, enough so that I was dreaming about it last night because I thought some of the stuff was kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and get into that. Let's start with, let's start with Geo. I watched his interview. This is Geo the Predator Merceron. He trains over at Grudge. His trainers are Chris Morris and Trevor Whitman. He's a Golden Glove champion from Florida and then from Colorado, and he made to nationals where he lost. He's from he's Haitian, but now he has all of his citizenship, things like that. Has education. The things that I noticed in his interview were Gio's a very humble guy. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. I really do. Not humble as weakness, but humble as in somebody that believes in what they are capable of and what they've trained to do, and that he feels strong and that he can execute anything that he wants to when he's inside of the ring. And that was definitely a vibe that came off of his interview that I felt good about. He was very business-like. There was nothing personal in it. He didn't have anything bad to say about Brad. He like I said, he doesn't know him. It wasn't that he called him out. It was that he felt like it's not taking Brad for granted. This is what I got from the interview. It's not that he's taking Brad for granted. It's just that he's confident in what he feels he's capable of doing. And so I can never knock anyone for having confidence in themselves. Sometimes you get up there, you figure out that confidence was misplaced. You learn from the lesson and you move on. Sometimes you take that confidence, you go ahead and step up, and you realize, man, I should have did this a long time ago. So I'm never going to be mad at anybody for having that kind of confidence and being very business-like. I felt like he was very well spoken. I really dug that about him when it came to his conversation. I felt like he was very well spoken. The thing that I guess kind of rubbed me wrong in the conversation with Steven and them when it came to the conversation with Gio, because the interview was held by Steve Johnson, Eric Duran, Aurelio Martinez over at InsideBoxing.com. And one of the things that I feel like in America we get too caught up on is age. Other countries don't worry about these things. That's the least important thing. It's about the abilities of the people. And the one thing I did notice about Aurelio was that he brought up with Brad, you haven't taken a lot of punishment, you're physically fit, things like that. Don't forget that with age comes experience, and if you haven't had a long amateur career or things like that, which Brad didn't, you tend not to have taken as much abuse. And in his fights up until this point, I think he has like 24, 25 fights. He hasn't taken a lot of abuse either. And so he may have be 37, think 37, 38, something like that. He may be at that age, but he is definitely, his body has not been abused like a lot of fighters by the time they get to that age. He has not taken the punishment, and you can tell that by the condition that he's in, as well as the way that he fights. As far as Gio is concerned, do you know, he didn't put too much on it. And that definitely was big. That was big. He didn't put too much on that. What he told people, which I thought was very important, when they asked him what was his plan for the fight, he said he doesn't have a plan. He has things that he worked out, the mechanics, things that you have to look at. He worked out, he's this height, this is what his reach is. That's only intelligent. If you don't do that much, then you're a fool. So he worked out the things that were of importance. He didn't work out so much what his style was, what Brad's style was. He didn't deal with that. He's been in sparring and handling his business and getting ready for the fight with no plan in mind. He understands that once he gets in there, he'll figure out what to do based on what he sees. I really, really like that in Gio Merceron's plan, because, I mean, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody has a plan till they get hit in the face. And that's in anything that you do. If you're the president of the United States or any other country and you go to war, you have a plan till you find out that your country's getting their ass kicked wherever you are. Then you have to change your plan. So it's better to not go into a fight with a plan. And that's just to be honest. It's better to take away what you're thinking about the person, because they know that you're thinking about them. Any intelligent person is going to change what they normally do, because they're adjusting for you. So if they're adjusting for you, they're not going to be the same fighter that you've seen. Some of the fundamental basic things won't change, because if you're a jabber, you're going to jab. If you're a boxer, you may still box. If you're a brawler, and we've seen you fight 20 fights, you've never done anything else but brawl, that's what you're going to do. So I really, really, really have nothing but good things to say about Gio as far as how he's taking his position on this fight. And that it's not he's taking that as another day at the office. Like I said, he did what he had to do. He knows what's going on. And that's it. And we'll see what happens. He didn't even say anything about the fact that he has, people harped on how big of an amateur career he had. For Gio, that really wasn't important when it came to this fight, which I also agree with, because if you get overconfident because you have a great amateur career, or you've done this and this and this in amateurs, you'll find out that the pros is a completely different game. And if you've watched Brad, the one thing that you have to understand about him, he is an amateur killer. If you look at the fights that he's had, and you look at the amateurs that have come along, especially recently, and have attempted to, let's say, dethrone him because he's had more experience, they have found that you being good as an amateur sometimes makes for a good pro and sometimes does not. Sometimes a good pro will whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word, that is just the way that it is. And Brad has proven to be that guy. If you come in thinking that you're a great amateur and that you're just going to run over him, Brad has proven time and time again that he will put you on your back, and you will find out that you need to go back to the drawing board. But with the plan that Gio has, in the words that came out of his mouth, I did not see him making any of those assumptions. And that lets me know that this is going to be a great fight. I do not see him getting knocked out. Now, his fights have been short, but I had a chance to be there and watch him spar with my boy Marcos and my partner Dre, and he looked good. He really did. I'm not going to say anything about what I saw, because that's not my job to give somebody else information on how to fight a person or what they do. I thought that he looked really good. and I know that he's going to be there to fight. And I know that he do not. If Brad makes the mistake of thinking that Gio is not ready to go into deep water, you're wrong. That much I will say. Don't think that he's not ready for that. Because what I saw in his work ethic, and the way that he handled his business, I was impressed. And so I think that it'll be a good fight. I think that it'll definitely be something that goes to decision. Let's get into Brad. Uh, Brad Jackson, B-Lo. Well, not B-Lo, but he started boxing a little bit later, same way that I did. He, like you said, it's something that he was meant to do, some that came to him. Um, Not a lot of amateur background, but that doesn't matter. Um, has fought some really solid people, and has beaten some really solid people. Has a winning record, and is somebody definitely not to be taken lightly. My concerns about what I saw about Brad was he's very angry. You know, I think the thing that resonated the most with me was that I definitely understand where he's coming from. He calls Colorado a me state, and I've definitely learned that not everybody here is like that. Um, I've definitely seen the love, especially with the my crew that I'm with right now, and the work I've been getting. I've definitely seen that it's you got to go out and find the people, and they will show you the love. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be put into the same boat. I cannot personally speak on the animosity between him and Grudge and all of that because I don't know what happened. Um, I don't know what's been said. What I can say is this: coming up in this and being a pro, there's been times where I've been told that people hated me or was saying this and that, wanted to, talking about my family, and I come to find out they never said a word. You know, that my people were trying to pump me up for a fight with this person and saying all these extra things. And then one person like me and Kenny, I used to hear it all the time about Kenny Lamos, and he's my brother from another mother, just hands down. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him, and I feel the same that he feels the same about me, and that's how it is now. And none of those things were ever said, and he was hearing the same thing over there with him that I was saying a bunch of stuff. That's just part of this boxing thing, and sometimes the people pulling the strings from behind closed doors are saying things that to make you do certain stuff. I'm not saying that's the situation with Brad and Grudge and all that because I do not know. I know Brad to be a really good guy. I know him to be an honest guy. And I know that if he says he has reliable sources, then chances are he does. But he has to control that anger. If you allow yourself to be angry, he allows any of that to come out in the fight, he loses. It's that simple. If he allows himself to be angry and lose control for a second, it's over. It's over. And what I did like is towards the end of his interview, he brought that anger back down and informed people, look, when I handle this business at this fight, it's not going to be in anger. All of that goes to the side. Business is business. I'm going to get in there and do what I do. If you don't know Brad, he is supremely confident in what he's capable of. And what a lot of people don't understand is that he just made a very good connection in the fact that when he was good training himself. That there's no doubt about that. But him going to a champion and somebody that has proven their knowledge of the game, their skill in the game, their ability in this game, that is a huge step. That's a huge, huge plus. When you have a champion in your corner and somebody that is able to take the tools that you have and sharpen those, I didn't even know that he was working with Donald Camarena. But that is if the Grudge camp is overlooking the fact that that Brad is working with Donald, then you guys are going to lose. It's not a question. Donald is a weapon in itself. When you add him or a great trainer, but see that I feel that way about Trevor too. I feel that way about Chris as well. I've seen them make champions. I've seen them adding them as your trainers, as the people that are fine tuning what you do is a good thing, because they are the same way. They make you better. There's some trainers that don't make you better. They come in, they do their job, they get paid, whatever. They don't make you better. Then there's those great ones like Emmanuel Stewart and things like that make you better. That's what you have when you look at Donald Camarena. That's what you have when you look at Trevor Whitman and Chris Morris. They have a proven track record. And Donald is new to the training side of it, but his track record, as far as the difference is, he's done the sport. He's been the fighter, and he was really good at it, and I see that they're similar fighters. Him and Brad are similar fighters. And so what Donald's going to be able to do is bring out the best in Brad. So I don't think we've ever seen the best that Brad has to offer. And he's still 75-80% win ratio. So what we're going to get in this fight is the best of Brad. He's always in shape. We're going to get the best of him. We're going to get what Brad could always have been with the right trainer, and now he has that. When Gio and Chris look across the ring and they see Brad, and then they look behind him or next to him and they see Donald, that should instill a little bit of wariness to whatever they're going to do, if they did not already prepare for that. And if they didn't, I'm telling you, it's too late to do so. And that will definitely have been a mistake. That will be somebody dropped the ball. You should have had that information so that you could prepare for the fact of what Donald brings to the table. I feel good about the matchup. I definitely feel Brad's pain. Like I said, I myself have complained about the way that it is here in Colorado, about the way that a lot of fighters carry themselves, about the way that a lot of promoters do it, a lot of trainers do it, because it's not, I've heard it best from my boys, Marcos and them over here at D-Town with Coach Anthony. They say it all the time that we're so busy fighting each other that we never bring, they never bring anybody in, and then we don't work together, sparring with each other, doing things to get better, to get better, and then go out and crush people in other places or bring people in and smash them out here in Colorado. So I definitely understand where Brad is coming from. I've been frustrated by with those same concerns myself. And like I said, I've just been fortunate enough that the minute that I voiced those concerns, people immediately responded in the boxing community. They immediately said, look, I got phone numbers from Colorado Springs saying, come get some sparring. I'll help you out. I got you. I got phone calls and stuff from other people. Like, you have to open your mouth though, Brad. If you close mouth, don't get fed, man. So if you continue to have these feelings but never mention it to anybody or never say anything and just let it fester inside of you, then you never do get a chance to see whether or not people will help you or whether or not doors will open. You went, Donald came to you. I'm just saying, you said in your interview, you didn't go to him, he came to you. That means that it's not just a me state. Even if there's one person, that means it's not a me state. And one person showed you love. Donald came to you. He showed you love. So that kind of takes away from that little bit of what you were saying. So get that under control, bro. Brad's been in deep water a few times. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to do it. The thing about Brad is Brad's going to be there. If You know, Gio's had one fight that ended in the first round, a second fight that ended in the his first fight ended in the second round, his second fight ended in the first round. That's not deep water. I mean, he has experience, he works hard, things like that. But in an actual fight, Brad's been there quite a few times. He's not going anywhere. You know, if they don't come, if they come in with if Geo's camp comes in with the mindset that they are going to just come in and run through Brad, bad plan. Bad plan. Be prepared for him to be there. Be prepared for him to give you a battle. That's what he does. Brad's not going anywhere. You know, his game plan is to get in there. You know, I heard him say it himself. The jab, the jab, the jab. That's one of the tools that so many fighters have lost in this day and age. So many people want to get in there and be exciting and bang and make fight of the year. You know, it's fine. It's cool to be Mike Alvarado. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, then you have those Mike Alvarado issues where maybe you get cut or you come back and nobody can recognize your face. That's the things that happen. You know, I'm not saying anything about anything, but use your jab. The jab sets up everything else. And if it's one thing that Brad is nice with is the jab. And he's fine-tuning that because, like I said before, Donald Cameron is going to put speed on that. He's going to make Brad move with the jab. And I'm almost for certain that even though I'm taller, that Brad has a longer reach than mine, and I have a long reach. My jab is dangerous, and I think his arms are longer, man. And that means that his jab is going to be effective against a shorter fighter if that fighter is not prepared to get around that. What else do I love Brad's confidence in what same thing I said about Gio. I love his confidence in what he's capable of. I love the fact that his passion about doing this. I love the fact that he feels like boxing chose him. This isn't just something that he does, it chose him. And sometimes that belief is enough to get you by to another place, like enough to take you to that next level. With Gio, I feel like he loves the sport. I feel like he loves the sport. He loves doing what he does. He likes to challenge himself. He could have went pro back in Florida. He said no to that. Do you understand? This is a two-time Golden Glove champion saying no to the money. Not because of anything other than, not because he couldn't use the money, not because his mother couldn't use the money, not because of anything else except for the fact that he wanted to go national to challenge himself. What that tells me about a fighter who's willing to do that is that he's always looking to better himself. He is not satisfied with being subpar. And that's why I try to explain he's not choosing Brad out of disrespect. And Brad should be taking it as a matter of Gio giving him respect. If you would listen to Gio's interview, he strives for challenges. Yes, he could have taken a fight against somebody that was weaker. Yes, he could have taken a fight against somebody that has less fights, less experience, but he's not. And so Brad has to take that as he's giving you the utmost respect by wanting to fight you. There are some people that call you out and they just run their mouth. They're being disrespectful. But what I got from Gio is that he likes to challenge himself. And the only way to challenge yourself is by going with people that you believe to be a level above you. He's giving that to Brad. He's giving Brad the fact that, look, you're a level above me, and I want to test my mettle to see if I'm there, if I'm ready. There's no disrespect in that. I don't know about what's between you and Grudge. I don't know about any of the rest of the stuff, but Gio gave you the utmost respect when he said, I want to challenge myself to fight you. And you got to take that and respect that. You do your job, may the best man win, but at the end of the day, both of you dudes are good dudes. I think Brad's a good guy. I think Gio's a good guy. I have none but respect for both of them, and I think that's going to be a great fight. You know, depending on the game plans, would be the only way that I would be able to pick who I think would be a winner. Um, I feel like if Brad comes in, uses the jab, stays long, then there's a good chance that he wins a decision. I feel like we won't know if Gio could take a solid punch, which Brad has punching power. We won't know it until we see him take a punch, and then we'll know because the other guys never challenges him like that. At the same time, on the other side of the coin, if Brad can get in, if Gio could get in there and control the tempo of the fight and put Brad on his heels and get inside of that reach and take that advantage away, then I've seen the work that Gio can put in on the inside. And so that, to me, would give him the advantage of winning a decision. And Gio's proven to have knockout power too, but we won't know how much knockout power until we see him against a quality fighter like he is this weekend with Brad. So that's where I am. This fight can go either way, so don't leave. Don't get there late. Come in early to watch the early fights. Like I said, my boy Alan Velasquez is going to be in there, and I'm pretty sure with Steve that he's going to be the walk-in fight. So get there early and see that fight. You know what I'm saying? And because he's going to put on the show for you too. But make sure that you stay. Make sure that you aren't drunk. You are going to miss a good fight if you miss this fight with Gio Merceron and Brad Jackson. And so I'm telling you, that's how I feel about the entire situation. Two good guys, two amazing fighters, and I feel like this fight can go either way, and that's my honest opinion. It just depends on who is able to inflict the most punishment and to impose their will upon the other fighter. It's just that simple. Their styles are different, and it just depends on who's able to control it and put their style out there the strongest. Friday night, Red and Jerry's. Doors, I'm sure, open at 6. 7 o'clock will normally be the time fights start. Do not miss it. Last show, Airtight Combat Sports. Be there. As far as everything else, don't forget, Marcos and Michael Herrera, they're going to be out in Arizona. I'm going to let y'all know what's up with them and where y'all can catch that online. Both of them will definitely be repping Colorado, and they are guaranteed to be online, so you will see those fights. And that's it, man. It's your boy Black Rose. I'm out.